This is the opportunity of a lifetime for people that have businesses and brands out there. Email us right now at advertise at hiphopun.com and you will get an opportunity to put your brand right in front of each video that we do. And let me tell you, the prices are crazy affordable. You definitely can afford it. Email us right now, advertise at hiphopun.com. Do not wait. All right, there's been a lot of speculation in the industry about the possibility of rapper Dababy being blackballed. Well, Meek Mill actually stepped in and confirmed that he indeed thinks that the baby was blackballed. He put they blatantly blackballing the baby, not by business, but I'm an observer. Now, the reason everybody's saying this is because of his dismal record numbers. I think he averaged anywhere from 16 to 20,000 when his last album did 117,000 in a week. So it's a lot of speculation about him being blackballed. But here's the full story. Stay tuned.
Facts.
The baby, man. We got to talk about him because I think his
God
projections, his first three projections were, was it like 17,000 or something like that?
That's the high between 13
What?
and 17. Absolutely fucking abysmal.
Man.
But there might be some reason into that, because like I was telling you earlier,
Right.
I don't know if you've been following the academics saga the last week or so, but
Bits and pieces.
stemming from what he said, he got into it with Ebro. And they
Okay.
got into a very heated discussion. Academics was on one. He was calling him basically a gatekeeper. He was calling him a hoe. He was calling him all this shit, saying that he at Apple Music, in his position at Apple Music, has blackballed a lot of the top hip hop artists in the game, like Young Boy,
Right.
Tory Lanez. He named 6ix9ine, and one of those people were also Dababy. This was 5 days ago. So he basically called out Ebro and said, 5 days ago, remember, Ebro, Dababy has an album out. Tory drops next week. I'm going to talk to Young Boy to get his next album date. Make sure you support all those artists. They are top artists in the genre. Stop using Apple Music as a weapon for your personal issues. You the boss of them playlist. So 5 days after, we see his numbers are abysmal. He says Dababy's last projection in 2020, blame it on Dababy, sold 124 the first week. His new project, after being blackballed by Ebro, Apple Music, is scheduled to do less than 20K. Now y'all understand my Ebro column. DSPs control who is hot and who is not. Fall out over favor with them. You're done.
Do you think any of this had to do with the fallout with Meg Thee Stallion at all? I mean, that was kind of way after that. And not even that. Not even that. The Meg Thee Stallion, but like the other things that the baby's been through. You know what I mean? The shit where he was on stage. I think it was like Rolling Loud. Yeah. He said something. Like, it kind of seemed like it's been like a downward spiral. Then he had the thing in New Orleans what he said that he only sold like 500 something tickets to a show. They had to cancel the show,
Yeah.
which him and his manager, I think, tried to refute that. But a lot of people are starting to throw that word around. Was he blackballed? Is he this? Is he that? And I think you got to take heed to certain shit like that because that has to start from somewhere. That's just not coming out of the air like, oh, the baby is he this and that. I think he's going to be fine, but I don't know, man. Like, first of all, how academics know that was going on? You know what I mean? Why would Apple give Ebro that much power to stifle out artists? That would be my two of my biggest questions with that whole thing. Do I believe stuff like that goes on? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But I can't confirm it.
Yeah.
And then why would he do it to the baby out of all people? Because I don't know.
Here's my thing. We don't, first off, neither one of us watch enough of Hot 97 content to even know how Ebro feels about the baby, feels about
Right.
We don't know to act like we know, right?
Right.
We don't watch that shit to know. But when you look at 124K his first week last year, and then we look at the shit that he been through, the Rolling Loud situation and a couple of legal incidents and the Meg Thee Stallion, and yeah, they may turn a blind eye, but when has controversy ever dropped somebody's numbers that bad? In certain instances, it actually increases them.
Right.
So, okay, I could see if he went from 124 to 105. I could see if he went from 124 to 98. 124 to 17, dog? Something's in the air. I don't know what that is.
Is this shit just garbage now or what? I mean, like,
Don't listen to it to know. But
then
you-
and even that whole people saying that he was doing that whole Meg Thee Stallion thing, which I think was true. He said he smashed Meg Thee Stallion right before Tory hit it or whatever to like kind of boost his numbers up. I guess that ain't work.
No, that didn't work. So I would have to, like, in order for me, I know that this is what I know for sure. People in high places when they get personal vendettas on you, they have the power to slow your shit down.
Oh, yeah,
if
for
it's
sure.
personal. For example, YouTube, right? And I'm not saying YouTube has personal vendettas against anybody,
Right.
but if somebody behind that camera can decide whether or not your thing is green or yellow, I'll put that out there for the people who know what that means.
Right.
They will look at your shit and go, "Nah, that's yellow. I don't like that."
Right.
They got the power to do that. So other people in higher positions, if they don't like you for whatever reason, and we would have to go back and do our research to see why Ebro wouldn't like Dababy for this to go on, he would have the power to do that if Apple gave him the power to push the buttons and that. But we don't know, man. I think
Right.
there is something in place. I don't want to sit back and act like he's blackballed. We can have our personal feelings about some of these characters in this conversation, but that doesn't matter at this point. I think he'll be all right too, but these numbers and everything we've heard out from the baby recently as it pertains to music don't look good, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of the price you're gonna have to pay for saying what he said. Even though I don't know, I didn't at the time. I don't think it was that crazy, in my opinion.
Not
what
for
he
this.
said. Not for all of this is backlash. But again, you living in a hyper sensitive, over sexualized, you know what I mean, society right now where people like that is kind of frowned upon, man. And it's sad. Like if you're gonna be an alpha male, strong, and kind of really speak your mind, when is that's to me that's like people attack that at this point in time. Like you went too far, or you're blackballed, you're canceled. You can't just speak your mind anymore, right? Especially about certain groups or certain types of people. But I don't know, man. I just think that he'll be fine. He's got to just pivot and move forward. But that's 100 something thousand to 17,000 is pretty huge. I would say that prove it, academics, prove it. I don't know how you can prove it. How do you know somebody? I know he gets a lot of information. I know a lot of people send him a lot of stuff, but that's something I would like to see you try to prove that, because speculation and talking, I don't know.
Yeah. And he's more connected to the industry than we are. So if anybody could prove it, it would be him. We don't know. We ain't there. We ain't listening. We ain't to that shit. So
Right.
some more information on that to confirm that would take it somewhere different.
Definitely.